What's up, everybody? I'm Jacob with Very Good Knife Company. If you're new to the channel, welcome in. If you've been here a while, welcome back. I'm happy to have all of you, and I'm glad you've joined in today. So, we've got a handful of knives here that need to get finished today. And, look at there. It's stuck to my rag. This is a pocket dock in Nitro V. This is a Generation 2. With Corby screw construction and a belt satin finish. That's blue micarta. This is a double green micarta, a dark green micarta.
Steven.
What's up, Steven? How you doing, bud? So I've switched to the Macecraft double black micarta now. So if you like black, you'll really like the double black over the classic black.
Zach is in as well.
What's up, Zach? This live stream is going to be a little bit different because I have the missus here to pretty much take over, and I'm going to do the finishing on these. This is a Nat from Macecraft, probably Current Composites, because it'd be hard to convince me if this didn't come from Current Composites. Anyway, and then here's the burgundy. Maybe I'm too close. It's not on right. I'm backwards this time. All right, and then we've got a one Gen 2 pocket dock with the Python micarta. Just one Gen 2. But I've got two Gen 3s over here, and the missus will show you all that stuff. But I'm going to get rolling on these so I can get finished. I did already finish up the Gen 3 pocket docks earlier today. They've just got to be sharpened and etched, but they're awesome. I'll have her show them to you. Alright, we're going to start out with a 60 grit belt, super fast, and turn the vacuum on, and we're going to profile or flush handles, and then we'll move on. Right here.
Yeah, there we go.
And get you where you can see.
Yes, Steven. This is the first fully lasered blank batch. No, we're just slowly loading them into the system. I'm waiting to do a video call with someone who has another program, and they're going to show us a new program that will make things much easier. For those of you that stick around, I've got another surprise to show everyone that I haven't posted about yet.
Python. Get that burger.
Do what?
Then I'm gonna skip the burger. I'm gonna have another shot.
It's all right, Zach. We end up in everybody's spam box. I don't know why email does that to us.
What?
No, it's 3:40 here. Kids are all done with their homework. That's usually done by lunchtime.
Double green.
Oh yeah, Steven. They know the earlier they get it done, the sooner they get to do whatever they want. The rest of the day is theirs. Why is it showing up like that? All the ones that he's made so far sold out. He only did one run of them, and then we had a few orders. He just hasn't really had a chance to make any more. There's been lots of requests for him, so. Hey, Gabe. I was just looking at that. That's what I was just saying. Why is it coming up like that? Ugh, drives me nuts. One day they'll come in a Very Good Knife Company leather sheath. One day. Hey, Sean. I'm streaming on the business phone and I'm chatting on my own phone. One day a VGKC chopper. They can't see your face, but he was nodding, yes.
Yes.
That was Gabe.
That's what I got the bigger oven for.
They said 9 to 11 inch blade.
That's what I got the bigger oven for. I'm gonna do it. It's a lot more likely to happen now with the laser for thick blade. I'm just not interested in something out like this.
Hey, Grinch.
What's up, John?
We're trying. I believe it's 3/8 inch. It'll cut through.
I'm not making any 3/8 inch blades.
No, Steven was asking how thick stock can the laser cutter get through.
Yeah, I think I'm not going to use anything that
Hey, Sean, how you doing? Yep.
What's up, Sean?
Gabe said, so a 3/16 chopper will be just fine. He's shaking his head, yes. Okay, I'll look at it afterwards. I'm streaming on the business phone, so.
So that's the
Down.
roughing step. Too far up?
Yep, there you go.
Okay. That's the roughing step. Everything's flush, profiled in. Now we've got to clean it all up. So right now all our scratches go this way. We want them to go this way. Same for the side. Scratches go this way. We want them to go this way. And spine. All the way around. We'll go ahead and finish it to 220. We'll do 120 first. We're going to switch around to the next grinder over. Go ahead and twist it. Take that block plate off. Alright. Now, I'm going to get inside here, from right here, all the way around to the tip. And I'm going to get the sides. like that. That's low enough.
Yeah. I'm trying to find my settings to fix my
So
my
here
name.
you can see, this is what it looked like before. We'll have to get this with a small unit, the next machine over. We're going to run them all through this step, then we'll see what happens. We show them the Gen 3.
Okay. Here we go. Here's all the Gen 3s. They just got to be sharpened and laser etched. Beautiful stone wash finish. Look how pretty that is. I'm gonna make you guys sick. I said I'm gonna make them sick. All things are possible now that we have a laser cutter. I'll probably have to Google a video on how to do it. What'd you do? Ew, that's gross. Hey, Dogbone, how's it going? Yes, how's the new tool working out?
What's that?
Dogbone Knives asked how the new tool is working out.
Bobby and Chad. How's it going, bud? It's working pretty good. I like it.
Oh, we were just talking about y'all. What was that, last night? Or yesterday? Yeah. The new tool is great. This is the first fully laser cut batch. These are all pocket docks.
Now, I got to thinking about it. I can't say that this is the first.
Well, yeah, technically the Cubs were.
But they are the first.
Well, the Cubs were water jet. The first fully laser cut batch out of our shop. There we go. Oh yeah, Zach, it went great. You did just fine. We're gonna do some more when we get some more stock. May do one like Sunday or Monday or something.
I gotta find some 537 stuff.
No, he's talking about whatnot. I'm at inventory.
I need to find some 537 stuff.
Yep. Yeah, we're ready. Ready to do another run of those Lone Stars. Or maybe the other design. Eventually we'll be doing our own leather sheaths. We don't have any 530 seconds, no. 530 seconds is almost non-existent.
In any steel.
Yeah.
Except for carbon steel. All the stainless steel is 530 seconds. 1, 2, 4 p.m.
But we do have some sheets of the 330 second AEBL. Nitro Beam.
That's what these are.
Yeah.
And I have 4 sheets of 8-inch AEBL. That's what makers of. Still I am going to get some 14 T28 here for anyone interested. Because I have found some, not full sheets, but I have found some.
Absolutely.
And the extrusion process is pretty easy in 530 seconds.
Yeah, Gabe, we've talked to him. We've always boasted everything done in-house, so we're trying our best to keep it that way. And Jacob is just as good at leatherwork as he is at knives. We just don't have the setup that we had at the last shop, so we have to build it back up again.
I'm gonna give that business to the kids. I want to set my kids up with their own leather shop and pay them.
Yeah, we're trying to get a hold of some 14C28 in. We've got a lead. I gotta call them. There absolutely may be a bunch of that coming through soon. Yeah, Nitro V is almost non-existent, and especially in 530 seconds. In anything. Yeah, until they find a new mill to make Nitro V. Last I heard, back in January was the last I heard anything, and from, was it November? Something like that. It was several months ago. I was told that they were vetting mills. So it'd be 6 months to a year before it even got started again. Yep. It is gonna come back. It's just gonna take time. Yeah, Gabe, the seal market is ridiculous right now.
You gotta do the same step, but then I gotta do it with 220 now.
Yeah, Steven, that's essentially what we did. We replaced our Nitro V with AEBL, but even that's becoming non-existent as well. So, yeah. Yep, everybody is replacing.
Thing is, there's more than one mill making AEBL. It's not going to completely disappear. It's just going to get bought up. They're going to come around before Nitro V. I've got a little bit to hold me over, but we're going to have to do something else.
Gabe said thoughts on the Z series of seals, like Z-Wear or Z-Tough. Yeah, we've never worked with any of that.
Never done any of the Z series stuff. It's so high though.
Yeah, we're still trying to keep our prices as low as possible.
The bowler steel. So I was wanting to do some stuff with the bowler steel. And then New Jersey got the bowler steel. I got excited. They got M390 or something. And it was like 30%, 40% more than MagnaCut. It was already just ridiculous. But yeah, this one, this doesn't align with what I'm doing. I mean, I'm not saying that I'll ever use it. I'm just not in a position to be able to buy enough of it. To justify even having it.
Gabe said Bowler N690 might be an option too.
Just like to get it without breaking the bank.
Yeah. The key word here is cost.
It's so damn expensive. So far, what bowler steel that I've seen here in the U.S. has been pretty expensive.
Yeah.
I mean, compared to other steels.
So for anyone that didn't catch that, he said the Bowler steels here in the United States are crazy expensive. I think it'll all change. It's just going to take time. With Buderus going out like that, it's just going to take time.
I don't understand why Niagara doesn't do it. Like, I don't understand why they don't do an AEBL.
Gabe said, yeah, I know, sadly, the American market is weird. We only produce Ford, McDonald's, and Disney. Well, I think the first one and the third one go hand in hand. But we won't get into all that.
Here y'all go.
How badly would high-wear steels like M390 increase production price with belts and such? You you have to talk loud.
If I was gonna do steel that had extremely hard, extremely high Rockwell hardness, I would be doing some pretty deep street grinding. Because there's no way in hell that I would be. Nitro B, AEDL, Nitro B specifically, Nitro B and AEDL come out about one Rockwell hardness off of each other. Of the exact same heat stream. Nitro B is about 62.5 from here, maybe. And I already have a hard enough time grinding half the heat stream. Well, with proper technique, you can get 2 to 3 knots, depending on the size of the knife. 2 to 3 knives does the best by itself. Grinding. For instance, all these pocket dots, Nitro B pocket dots, I did 3 blades, 3 bevels to 160 grit belt. Right now they're finished 400. But for rough grinding, 3 knives worth of bevels to a 60 grit ceramic belt. I can get more, but it takes so long to do the fourth one without burning it, overheating it at all. It's worth it to move on. Again, I'm not running small volume. I'm trying to run as much as I can possibly run. Look at my time.
Dogbone said, I bought some steel from Admiral, and for them to ship me 48 inches long steel was over $100. I can drive to Pops in Gainesville and back for $20. Zach, here's your roughneck all cut out.
The thing with Admiral for me is going to be how much they come down, how much am I going to have to lock before they come down. Because now that I'm buying the biggest that I can get, I'm looking to buy more of it. They have been equipped with that. I bought 440C from Admiral in the past.
Gabe said the Counter-Strike with a Tanto would be cool.
Yeah, I want to kind of expand on the strike series.
Oh yeah, Steven wants a surgical strike. A small one.
Pocket strike.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm going to do a pocket strike. I want to expand on the pocket series. Got more blue, and we'll do it all.
Gabe said another steel would be good old 154 CM.
Yeah, the Admiral has that as well.
Yeah, we were just looking at that on our lunch break.
Steel Bear carries it too, but it's not carrying. That's what I want. 530 seconds. Last I checked.
Steven said, thanks for thinking of us soft-handed office workers.
Nobody needs anything anymore unless it's really small.
truck driver says about time work is getting done. I have an idea of who that might be. Gabe said, for my use, 154 is pretty decent, and I don't think it's expensive. Sean says, what about A2, O1, or 3V?
I've done a whole bunch of plays in O1. Honestly, it's beaten out by so many other skills. It's just by ATR is better than O1. In my opinion, I think A2 is better than properly done. A2 is better than, maybe not better than ATR. Maybe it draws right up there here. But O1, not so much. Hers put on it more fun. B2 might be kind of opposite though. Everybody loves B2 for whatever reason. It is just tough. I just don't like it.
You gotta talk louder. Down. Yeah, I had to get you down on that wheel.
I'm used to being able to see you guys. Do the small wheel. Now this step will go a lot faster.
All right. Close your eyes. We're moving.
Here we go.
Zach said, one thing that's uprising about 3V is how corrosion resistant it is.
Oh yeah, I never said anything about 3D. The only reason I haven't done any 3D yet is price. It's extremely expensive to do. But I will do some 3D. I plan on it.
Yeah, y'all let me know if you have issues hearing, and I'll repeat what he says. I know.
I'm running out of breath.
Down. I got you zoomed in a little so you can just kind of pull it up just a little and turn it.
Halfway. Or a quarter of the way up.
Gabe said an A8 mod would be interesting.
So you can get that stuff kind of cheap. And on the Chinese steel, Japanese, whatever the hell.
Yeah, get it.
Some of them you can get pretty cheap. So you have to buy a bunch of it. You buy a bunch of it, you get it for nothing. One more of those. And we'll move to 220. Same thing. Like that.
Oh yeah, I really like those little QSP knives. Thank you.
Dude, the QSP knives are awesome. They are awesome.
Haven't had much time to play with anything lately, but
So I have a buddy that has gotten to every knife that you mentioned me.
go like right there. Yep.
And I go see him every Sunday. And I always take him a different knife every Sunday. And I'm just now, I started this like 6 months ago. And I just now got through the one that you sent me not that long ago. Alright, next step is the router. Let's go. I don't want to be hearing this thing in my sleep.
Oh, let me go grab mine, please.
Alright, we got a 3/16 round over, and I did fix the whole issue with the pocket docks that I had before, because the steel so thin, the guide wasn't touching right, it was overcutting. But I did fix that by modifying the actual router bits. I may have told you guys that a while back, but I've only done like 2 runs of pocket docks, so. Hold on. Hardly hear it sitting, but that little tiny bit takes up on this right there. It's really nice. Yeah. Here's the 4, see the squares on the edges.
Yep.
Square, round.
Ooh, I can give y'all that little sneak peek. peek of the new machine. Just a minute, I will. Oh yeah. He told me to take y'all back here, so we're gonna. Here is the new router table, which we're still trying to put together. We have to get it square before we can go any further, and that's just been a pain. Here is the beloved X tool. And then all the pieces that we still have to put together. So let's go head back in here. What are we doing now?
I'm gonna run a drill through the lanyard holes, just make sure there's no junk in it.
So the router table will cut out and drill and do everything for our handles, basically. So we'll have our handles and our blades cut.
Probably can't see it. There, I ain't gonna try. But all that junk in the lanyard holes and glue from the screws there too. I'm tired of this.
No, this router table it's just a router. It's not, we didn't get the plasma. We don't need it with the laser. The laser will do everything we need with metal. Zach wants to know, what is the hardest part of grinding a Tanto?
Telling yourself it's time to grind a Tanto. The hardest part of grinding a Tanto is telling yourself it's time to grind a Tanto. Getting over it mentally. I don't like any part of it, but it's not bad. Doing the front side is the hardest part. The straight side is really easy. Right.
Stuck on something.
Alright, now we go back through 400 thin Scotch-Brite. Pretty much the exact same thing we just did. So the router, the cutter guides will leave a line. They'll leave scratches and junk in the center. You may be able to see them right there. We're going to just go ahead and clean it all up for a final time. The router's not the last step. Doesn't need to be the last step.
Truck driver, there's no more rooms to clean out, so the next step is our own shop. Building our new shop.
It's 220 and the 400, but that little line that goes around it that you can't see, I can see it, but that little line is gone. And the 400 is more or less just going to clean the surface up.
Zach said he needed that laugh, thank you.
anytime. And last one. Okay. So, once you've done them all through 400, then the last step for these is Scotch-Brite. I use a blue ultra-fine, very fine. It's not ultra fine. I think the gray is ultra. Almost ultra fine. Blue Scotch-Brite though. And we'll hit them. That will make them nice and clean on the surface and also shiny, just like the shiny. That's where we get our sack finish from. That Scotch-Brite stuff, like that.
Dogbone said a knife maker can always find faults in his own knives. They're never perfect enough. Steven, yeah, it's building a shop is definitely in the timeline. It's just a matter of finding the land and getting the financing.
If we're going to build a shop that's going to be for at least the next 10 years. It's got to be a 10-year shop at minimum. If not forever.
Yeah, I'm done moving.
We got to pick a place I want to be for the next 10 years. I'm not so sure it's here. There we go. Easy peasy. Just like that. So now, we're going to take this with me so I don't have to come back for it. We're going to move down to the big wheel. Put 400 grit belt on. Put the block plate back on. So on this one, I'm going to make sure that the corkscrews are good. So right here, when you roll it around, so when you slide the sides around on that router table, the corkscrews always get all cracked up. Real good. Again, another reason why we don't use the router table with the plastic stuff. Make sure the corkscrews look real nice. We'll go ahead and hit our sides. Like that. And this process usually takes a good minute.
Up just a little.
These knives are almost finished. Once I finish them, I'll stop back with you guys and show you everything.
I showed them once, but you can show them each individual one. Welcome back, Gabe.
That's a permanent change. We can make a video. I've got some permanent changes.
Yeah, I was about to say there's quite a few permanent changes gonna happen that we have got to catch everybody up on.
They're all good changes.
Very good changes. Oh God. I didn't even I didn't even catch that.
What makes it worse?
But yeah, almost time for me to go home. Our shop cleaner has been not doing her job.
See where that
Down
little
just a bit.
fuzz-
Yep.
That little fuzz is from the router. There's the high spot right there, the face is routed the same way. And so the two meetings together are extremely crisp. There's a little hard line. I don't want that to run blister on nobody, so I knock it down. Really lightly.
Scab. Does Scab own any of our knives? I believe he has one or two. Very true, truck driver.
That's all we're doing. Not hitting the door
Down.
Hardly even see it.
Yep.
But I'm gonna hit it again with the Scott's side.
Up.
That's all.
Up.
Either low or high.
Yep. It's okay. You're used to seeing them.
Two more. Now, that Scott's right belt that I carry with me. That way I don't have to go back over there. There we go. Over the supporting screws, one. Over the spine. All the way to the whip. And so, now the only thing left to do this knife, and the rest of them once I get them through this stage, is then we'll Scotch Brite the doubles. They will then be essentially a finished knife. Aside from having a sharpened edge, which I'm not going to do today.
Zach, that one is a Lycian. Christian Lycian. Lycian knives.
Almost done, guys.
Oh yeah, he makes some really nice blades. Oh yeah, he's super nice guy. We really enjoyed hanging out with him at Georgia Bushcraft. You're there, I'm not zoomed in. Oh yeah, we hung out with Alan all weekend. He was the booth behind us. So he and Jacob would sneak into each other's booths if we weren't busy. They goofed around all weekend. Him and his family are great. They talk pretty regularly. Oh yeah, Gabe, it's definitely something you need to check out. Georgia Bushcraft was a lot of fun. And there's a lot of classes and lots to do. Very family friendly.
Turn around, hand me the darkest belt you see there.
This one?
No, the Scotch-Brite.
Oh.
That's my steel belt. Alright, then I got another steel belt here. Scotch-Brite. Scotch-Brite for steel. Grab open platinum. Now we're going to scrub these bevels.
Oh God, don't be talking about my niece like that. Gabe, yeah, Georgia Bushcraft is a lot of fun. Blade Show's fun too, but yeah, you would have a lot more fun at Georgia Bushcraft. Blade Show is extremely overwhelming. That's what he said. He said Blade Show is kind of gay.
There's that final finish. Take that shine. We'll do that with all of them, and then we'll move on when we're done. I'll show you everything, talk about it, show you these other good trees that I've got set over here. Awesome knives. I love talking about it. I like making them. I like looking at them and holding them. These knives I'm making. And I really don't enjoy making every knife. One of my favorite knives, the First Strike. I'd rather go mop the bathroom and then lick my shoes. But I can't.
Gabe said, I went to Blade Show, Texas. It was giga gay. Not SHOT Show level gay, but it was getting there.
for me, it's good. I like hanging out with all the people that I've met. And that right there, that's what I like about it.
We use Blade Show for our little vacation weekend to hang out with all of our other buddies, and
I got to spend the weekend there with Bobby and Cass, Dogbone Knives there.
yep,
Having good neighbors makes it a lot more fun.
yeah.
They're really good neighbors.
Yeah, that's a 400 grit satin finish. That's why it's so shiny. They said that looks like chrome, it's so shiny.
It's pretty shiny. It can go a lot shinier, but I don't know why you won't to.
It'll take a mirror polish, right?
Oh, yeah. If I have the right bumping compound, take it from this point on with the bumper. I only have one, so I don't do that. Just have my little pieces of
Yeah.
for the edges, that's all. No need for bumping. I don't like it up like that stuff. I don't even like making it. I like when it looks, as long as I didn't have to do it.
Gabe asked if you're still considering more Cerakote colors. I think a blaze orange with green
Oh yeah.
or nat scales would be good.
About that like a month or two ago, maybe. I do want to do more Cerakote, but I can't right now because my shop isn't.
We don't have heat in the shop.
And it's been really cold here. It's been too cold to do Cerakote. It takes longer to flash. Once I'm out of Cerakote, I used up everything else that I have. And I figured I'd pick back up on the Cerakote once it's warmed up.
Yep.
When I started the Cerakote, it cost me so much that I had to really charge a lot for it because I wasn't doing a lot at a time. But now I'm able to do more at a time and actually make it happen. So the Cerakote I'll be able to buy in bigger quantities and do more of, and therefore bring the price of the Cerakote drastically down. We just kind of ran out of time on Cerakote. It got really cold and the shop's not climate controlled, and cold temperatures do not agree with spraying things. All right.
What's that combat paper? Personal information.
All right. All right, now I'm going to spray these with WD-40 so as to clean them. I'm going to let them sit in that WD-40 for a second. They're full of dust right now. If I go to wiping them, then I'll a good chance I'll start scratching these pretty shiny blades. One reason why I'm kind of tired of doing the belt satin finish. Even though I love it, I think it's easier to finish and do than everything else. I mean, I think that's still the easiest. Easier than doing the stone wash and everything else. As far as, like, when it's done, it's done. There's nothing else to do to it. But, it scratches easy. That's just that. Alright, so let's take a look at what I did earlier today, what I've been doing this week. Here is the same knife, Pocket Doc, but it is a Generation 3. Now you might notice, if you've been looking and watching the other ones, this one's not shiny, this one's not got the same kind of pin look, this one's got screws. Now the other ones are screws as well. These over here are called Corby screws, in case you're not familiar with that. This is what the other knives are built with. These are called Corby screws. It's made to look like a pin, bite together, and have a mechanical bond. But then we end up cutting that slot and grinding it flush. You can't take it apart. It ends up looking like a pin. The handle's sealed. Anyhow, these right here you can take apart and service them. This is the Gen 3. And again, if you're new here and you don't know what Gen 2 and Gen 3 is, screws. So Generation 2 is Corby screws and belt satin finish. Classic look. That's the original Very Good Knife Company look. I won't ever quit doing Gen 2s. They're just going to become more limited over time, depending on who I have working for me, because I'm just not going to be able to do this forever, nor do I really want to do this for the rest of my life. I would like to move on. Anyhow, this is a Gen 3 stonewash finish and removable screws. Now these screws are new. I was using the Gulso bolt screws. Now these are just like those Corby screws. However, they have a Torx head and a low profile cut. That way you can remove them. And they're good screws, but with the flat shoulders there, with the square shoulders, they do not self-center. And sometimes when you take the knife apart, you put it back together, sometimes that if the scales shift a little, you'll feel that little tiniest little lip. These new screws that I've switched to are a 3-piece instead of a 2-piece, and they are a screw standoff screw construction. So we've got a screw 832 instead of 632, an 832 Torx head screw on one side, a 1/4 inch by 1/4 inch standoff in the middle, and another 832 Torx head screw on the other side. These guys right here are nearly impossible to break, although I have broken a very small handful of the Gulso bolts. I don't really have a problem with them breaking, but these I have never broken an 832 screw just with a Torx driver in a knife. And these guys are dang near bomb proof now. So I'll take one side, and they don't come apart easy. They fit way tight. There you can see the standoff inside of there. And there's the other screw inside of there.
And Ron Swanson quotes.
Oh, God.
Zach said he's having breakfast for dinner. He loves breakfast for dinner. So I put.
There's never been a sadness cannot be cured by breakfast food. Anyhow, I've only shown one, and I don't know why I keep getting stuck on that one. I'm trying to move on. This is...
Sorry, I distracted you.
No, you didn't. I distracted myself. ADHD. There's a stonewash finish with the... this is the Nat from Current Composites, and I've got a sheet of it. I'm just not sure how I feel about it. I have mixed feelings about it. On one hand, I really like it. It's got the butterscotchy look. And then on the other hand, I like my other Nat that I've been using for like 12 years. And it's just a little darker color. But I think this right here is pretty dang nice. I really do like it. I like this Nat. Anyhow, the stonewash is really nice.
How's the texture? Comparable?
The texture on the Gen 3s is rougher on the micarta. The micarta on the Gen 3s is rougher than the Gen 2s. No Scotch-Brite ever touches, nothing higher than a 120 ever touches the Gen 3s that they need. and I want them that way. That way they have a little bit more grip. So right now my blaster is down, and when I get myself a new blaster, I actually bought one last night. I bought a tumble blaster, and then they contacted me this morning saying, well, we don't actually have it. It'll be 6 to 8 weeks, and it was quite expensive, and I'm not going to wait that long for it. I'm going to go find it somewhere else. But it's a Cyclone T14 tumble basket. So I can so the way I finish the Gen 3s is I'll go ahead and do the blades to 120. I will then fit and attach handles and go ahead and finish them out all the way. Then I will take them apart. I will temporarily screw the handle scales together. I've been using some Gulsa bolts that I've shortened way up, and I just screw the handle scales together. Of course, these are going to make an ass out of me, but there you have it. They're real short, that way I can just screw scales together and then blast it. So the scales have a tendency to, right here where it radiuses, that part right there, if you hit it too much with the blaster, it'll chew it away, and then it won't have a nice fit to the knife. You'll be able to see little gaps. So I don't like blasting scales individually. I like them to be paired, and it kind of deletes the danger of over blasting on the inside edges. If both sides are mated up together, then you never touch the inside edges. You're only touching the outside. So I'm gonna get a tumble blaster. There's the burgundy on the Gen 3. I'm gonna get a tumble blaster to do all the blasting on the handles, and as soon as it's here, then from here on out, all the Gen 3 handles will be blasted. Right now they're just a 120 and then router finish, and they're still really rough. But I want to make them even rougher. But my sandblaster bit the dust.
So Stephen wants to know, how does the new router table fit into this workflow? Can you finish multiple handles all at once, save for the blasting for the final setup?
One function that I'm wanting to finish or achieve, what I'm wanting to achieve with the router table is I want to be able to not cut out a finished handle, but a handle that has had all the little tiny steps taken out of it. So I want the router table to take my sheet of steel, instead of me having to run it through the bandsaw twice to get this piece, and then I'll take and tack glue these pieces together, and then I will cut the handle face, make sure it's square, and then do the face. This right here is the face. You know this stuff, but I'm speaking to those that don't know. And then I will clamp the scales to I'm gonna have a blade. Right here. I'll clamp the scales to the blade. I'll just clamp it right there.
Yep.
Clamp it right here, and then drill my holes. I was gluing, just a dab of glue. Either way works. Temporarily attaching the scales whilst they're together in one piece. Drilling, and then I pull the scales apart. I then have to, once they're attached to that knife, I also scribe the pattern of the knife on. And then I take the scales, before I split them, I have to take them through the bandsaw to cut the excess off. And then I got to split them. And because there's glue in there, I got to clean that glue up. So I've got to reflatten them. And then once they're reflattened, then I have to go countersink them. And once they're countersunk, then I can attach them. The router table I actually put an extra hole in these. I actually ruined these scales because I drilled them way too deep. These are drilled for Gulsa bolts, and the Gulsa bolts are just, I have a love-hate relationship with them. I really do. Because if you drill them too deep, this is how they turn out. And there's nothing wrong with that. I can chamfer right here and make it soften that dip up a lot, but it's not as clean as if it were fit out to the end like this, and then just a tiny chamfer, which is acceptable. But anyhow, I ruined this side, so I just started playing with them. Anyhow, I want the router table to take my sheet of micarta and do this with it. This exact piece right here. So if you've been watching any of the old live streams, you know why I left this little tab on where that line is described. I won't need that little tab anymore because I won't need to split them back apart. This handle right here is excess cut off. It is drilled, it is countersunk, and it is faced. That is all I need the router table to do. I don't need it to finish the handle. I want everything to be hand finished. And I do intend to continue to use the router that I'm using to radius the handles to continue to radius the handles. It's a very extremely simple and efficient process. I don't think it can get any easier. I don't even think it can get any faster, to be honest. It would take longer for the router to cut a finished handle than it would for it to take and cut a handle that is ready to bolt on and be finished, and me finish it, than for it to take it all the way. I could finish it faster. So I don't need it to have a finished handle. I just need it to get me these pieces right here. A proper shape, proper drilled, countersunk, and faced. Ready to bolt onto the knife and finish the exact way that you just watched me finish these knives on this live stream. All that is trainable and teachable, and so is drilling and doing the hand fitting. But it takes so much time, and it's such a waste of time to do for such a simple step. And all I need the router to do is make a simple cut for the shape of the handle, and the only real 3D stuff that I need done is the radius on the face, and then the taper for the screw heads, or Corby screws, which if I'm doing Gen 2s, I may just end up doing them by hand anyways, who knows. It all just depends on how easy it is for me to dial in that router. All right, before I go completely hoarse and I talk the rest of the day away, because it is 5 o'clock, let's look at those knives that we finished up today on the live stream. So I like to let that WD-40 sit on them for a little while, because the WD-40 will get up under all that dirt and grit and kind of lift it up and make it where it won't scratch when you go wiping it off. So here's a Gen 2. So there's a Gen 3 stonewash finish, rough handle, and removable screws, serviceable. And then you've got Gen 2, non-removable handles, but a cleaner, smoother finish, a belt satin blade, shiny, pretty awesome, right?
Tim, these are stone washed. Or the first ones are stone washed.
Yeah, the first ones that I was just showing are stone washed. And they are great looking. These ones I let sit in the acid until they were the darkest that I could get them. And then I only tumbled them for about 10 minutes. So they didn't get super bright. They're still pretty dark.
I think that's
There's
Mr.
the
Tim that
mat.
likes his blasted knives.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. Can be done. Not right this exact minute. I gotta get myself a new.
Yeah, we gotta get a new sandblaster.
But anyhow, I was gonna get the tumble blast for handle scales, so I could put all the scales together and then put them in the basket. And the blaster has a basket that tumbles and does the blasting for you. So rather than having to sit there and do it all individually, for small pieces like this, it's easier to do them in a basket. an automated basket.
Tim says looks great.
Thank you. Thank you. There's nothing like that classic Gen 2 look. If you guys like that look, check out verygoodknifeco.com. Subscribe to our newsletter, which I've been slacking on. And you'll get an email tomorrow sometime letting you know that we're having a drop tomorrow of these knives right here. These are Pocket Docs in Nitro V stainless steel. This one is a Gen 2 with double green canvas micarta. It is killer looking. A double black one.
Steven said we need a very good dad joke with every newsletter.
That's fair.
Our middle daughter would love that.
That's fair.
She loves dad's jokes.
I will have to incorporate that.
Zach said, since you're live, what knives are you discontinuing?
Give me just a second. Let me finish wiping all these down, and I'll go over there to the patterns. When I say discontinuing, I kind of mean just refraining from doing any runs because they've been either unproductive or really unproductive. Knives that just nobody will buy. Doesn't really matter what I do to them. There's the blue. I've got 3 of these guys. 3 blue Gen 2s. Those blue Gen 2s have been really popular, so I did extra. Plus the end of this sheet that I was cutting of all this blue canvas micarta had 1 extra set of scales, and I didn't want to put them in the box, so I just made it. Blue. 3 of these guys. And all 16 of these Pocket Docs in Nitro V will be dropping on the website tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. verygoodknifeco.com. Check it out if you're interested. Gen 2s and Gen 3s. Pretty cool run. It's a really good looking run.
Are they all Nitro V? Or?
They are all Nitro V, and I have... where's that sheet that they came out of? What do you do with that?
Right here.
Right there's all 16 of them. Every single one of them. That would be a cool video. Just drop it and there's 16 finished. If only it was that easy. Just done.
Oh, the days of owning a business. Now you have to be a content creator as well.
So anyhow, here is Gen 3 Pocket Doc and Gen 2.
Zach says he loves his Hellfire Carbon Pocket Doc.
That one is really cool. I thought the Snowfire looked best on the Pocket Doc for sure. Don't want to be seen. What's wrong? Okay, Zach was asking about discontinued models. Models that I don't plan on doing any more runs of. And I haven't fully thought it through entirely. I don't want to delete models that I have juniors of, as I feel like that would be kind of dumb. But things like the Tradition, the full-size Tradition, I can't move them. It really doesn't matter what they're in. Nitro V, ADCR V2, doesn't matter if they're wearing pink panties or dang blue jean overalls. It does not matter. They won't move. That's a Heritage, and I do plan on doing more of these. Although I do plan on doing a Heritage Junior here soon. I did a Tradition Junior. The Traditions will be very limited in runs, and I may just do like a Gen 2 special run of Traditions. But as far as Traditions go, they're pretty much out of the question for now because I have a bunch of them left, and they're sitting on the shelf. It doesn't matter what I do with them. I will also put a bunch more Gen 3 ADCR V2 back on the website tomorrow night as well. And the next one that's gonna definitely be discontinued is the Mustang. Now that one bothers me because I love the Mustang, but again, it doesn't matter what they were wearing. They are the last ones out of, and here's the thing, like I'm basing my choices off of having dropped a whole bunch of different knives at one time, and the Mustangs, the Traditions, the things I'm pulling off the list are always the ones that I'm holding on to forever, and they never move. And this isn't just like a 1 or 2 time thing. This is over the past few years that I've been collecting all this data, and it's just the Mustang has really, it goes through phases where some people want them and some people want to see them, but it's not the right combination, and that's okay. In fact, in the exact same class of knife is the Hornet, and the Hornet and the Mustang are one and the same knife almost. They are the exact same handle, 100% same handle, the same width, the same blade length, and I mean exactly the same blade length. You can see the Mustang has a slightly more rounded belly, and the Hornet would have a drop point instead of a clip point. They're the same knife, and the Hornet sells in circles around the Mustang. Even though the Hornet isn't the best. Although, in the past, I have sold every Hornet that I could possibly put out, and it still wasn't enough. So things like that make me want to make more Hornets. But the Mustang is out. Next one getting discontinued is the Falcon. Nobody ever buys Falcons. In fact, the last couple Falcons that I had for several months, and honestly, I thought I was going to have to give them away. Nobody wanted them, so they're out. Again, Falcon is in the Falcon, the Hornet, and the Mustang were all three put out at the same time. They are models number 15, 16, and 17, and they are all three the same handle, same blade length. The Falcon is a 5/32 worn clip. Well, it's not really a worn clip, but it's a straighter edge with a more almost like a sack style blade. Doesn't matter. Nobody buys them at all, ever. And so therefore I won't do them. I already discontinued the Jack and the Roughneck for the same reasons. Nobody, can't give them away, especially the Jack. The Hornet still stays. Another one that probably won't get continued is the Mantis. I have a kind of mixed feelings about dropping it because I think it's a great blade, and I do think that I'm going to try some in Gen 3 before I completely delete it off of the menu. And I want to see how they do in Gen 3 because I have not done any in Gen 3. And same goes for some of these other ones. Doesn't mean we'll never see them, but there's better combinations out there that I could do. There's better design, and why not just make a new one? Just keep on expanding and try and make it better. But anyhow, the Mantis has its times. Sometimes when I make Mantises, they are gone before I can even post them, and then sometimes I make them and nobody wants them. So, considering that they are they're not my most favorite to look at or make. Of course, all the things that I'm basing it off of are kind of just flying out the window because now I've got the laser tool and I've not even considered a lot of this. But anyhow, the Mantis probably out. The Wasp is I never ever have issues moving Wasps. In fact, it's always the opposite. I usually get rid of all the Wasps first. Wasps or Tradition Juniors. And the same for Hornet. So those two stay. I will be, let's see, Roughneck is out, has been out for a while. That was some of the first ones to get discontinued. I will be changing up the lineman just slightly. I like the blade, I like the guard, I like the handle, but I want a bigger loop on the end. Not like anything specific that exists right now, but I want a bigger loop on the end. Lanyard loop. So that'll change only just slightly. And I did change from the 3/16 to the 5/32 stock a while back on the lineman. I will probably even change from the 5/32 to 1/8 inch and make it thinner and lighter. Another one, let's see. Another one that nobody really cares a whole lot about is the Mosquito, and I already don't make a lot of them because, I mean, the
I was
truth,
supposed to say you didn't
it
make
takes-
very many of
it
them.
takes about as much effort to make one this size as it does to make one this size, and this knife is like, and I can't make them cheap enough to make it worth it. So those are out. I don't know how I feel about deleting the Rambler off the line.
No.
But nobody buys them. To the point where I can't give them away. I don't know if I just haven't gotten the right market with them or what. They are one of the best knives that exist on planet Earth. Everybody that has them carries them a lot, at least around here that I know of, locally, and then there's several people across the world that I've talked to that have their Ramblers and absolutely adore them and swear that there's nothing better. So I don't know. I don't know what to do with it. But when I do runs of the Rambler, it's probably not going to be in big runs. I just won't expend a lot of energy into the Ramblers. When I get more 5/32 steel, I'm going to be sending counter strikes as fast as I can possibly send them. This has been the most requested knife that I've made in a long time. The counter strike is one of, if not the most requested knife of last year. And I didn't come out with this until middle or late middle or last, hell, it was third quarter of last year that I come out with the counter strike. And just in that rest of the year, it was requested more times than anything else.
It's still getting
And it's
requested
still
daily.
getting requested daily.
Yeah, I just don't have the steel
But
for
I
it.
don't have the steel. I have some 1.5 inch 3/16 too thick for a counter strike, and this is all I have of it actually. That's it. You're looking at it. AEBL Nitro V. It's drying up, and I don't know what else to do other than try and find something else to put it on. Like I was talking about, I found some 14 C28, and I think that will be a fantastic match for something like this. Extremely high corrosion resistant, and it also does have the same kind of or similar characteristics to that of AEBL. It's closer to the AEBL rather than the Nitro V. But 14C28 N is a great steel, and if it's available, then that's what we're going to run it on. So you're going to see these probably real soon, counter strikes in 14C28N. Adventures will never go anywhere. End of story. End of question. And the Revelations never going anywhere. I just don't make a lot of them. And half the reason why I don't make a lot of them is because they have a real special grind on them. And I've tried them without that grind, and they just don't blow my dress up. So I just don't really do a lot of them. Plus, they're kind of a real pain in the ass to hand profile, and I have to hand cut that choil with the file. And you know, I don't like sharpening choils because I don't like using files either. Not that I'm against it. Again, I'm trying to make simple stuff here. Anyhow, the Revelation goes nowhere, and you will start seeing more Revelations because the laser is going to make it way easier to put these out. We don't make a whole lot of Hawks, but these are kind of like a hit or miss. Sometimes everybody wants them. I had some of these in the store for a really long time, and we did sell a whole bunch of them right off the bat. But then like a good bit of them sat around for a little while, and then like during 1 week, everything that I had left of the Hawks sold, and then I had backstock requests for 3 days on the out of stock pages for the Hawks. So I don't know what it is with the season, but anyway, this is a game design from Last Huntsman, and I actually carry a Hawk when we go out. I like to appendix carry my hawk, and I do like doing a little bit of outside like feather sticking work with it, specifically feather sticking, not like carving or anything. I do like prefer the belly on my Adventure for that, but for feather sticking, I love the hawk. We're going to do a run of these, a small run of these with the orange Cerakote and green handles. We'll probably do all orange Cerakote. I'll probably do a dozen of them, and we'll do 4 of each in nat, black, and green. So we'll do nat with orange, black with orange, and green with orange. And those will be like a Huntsman edition hawk. So look for that to come in the next, well, that'll be late spring, or like right around the Blade Show time, or just before Blade Show, that I do that run of these. They're great knives, they really are. Again, that sack style Wharncliffe blade, it just takes a certain type of person that likes strawberry ice cream. And it is very much strawberry ice cream in terms of
Popularity.
Yeah. You just kind of have to like it. Tributes going nowhere, although I don't make a lot of them right now. They are extremely popular. They also have their times, but for the most part, tributes have always been a pretty popular one, and I don't make a whole lot of them anyway. They've been pretty rare. I do have one tribute at home. First strikes are going nowhere. In fact, the faster I can make them with the laser, the more first strikes I want to put out. I love the first strike. They are kind of hit or miss on how they move, but it's all dependent on the variant. And so far there have been some definitive variants like double green for these guys, and then the stonewashed ones are pretty nice too. So
Steven said VGKC and the sharpening choil is one of the greatest rivalries in cinema history.
I don't like sharpening choils. I really don't. Adventure Juniors, those won't be going anywhere. Those are, in fact, at the first of the year, the first drop that we did, these were the first to sell out of 30-something knives. So Adventure Juniors are just completely in protection zone. They're going nowhere. Same for the Tradition Juniors, even though they also have started to slope off on the popularity. I think it just has to do with every single one of you guys, all my OG collectors already have like 3 or 4 or 10 of these already. Everybody loves them to death. You guys absolutely have, you have definitely shown me that you guys like the Tradition Junior, because every time I do a drop of them, most, if not all of them, are gone. I think the only reason that I had a few of them left over after the last drop, which I only had a very small handful, was because they're ADCRV2 and not Nitro V. And ADCRV2 itself has gotten extremely hard to move. Another one is the Lone Star. We did a drop of these, only one drop, and that's Zach's design. And the first drop we did of these, they were gone. Like within 5 minutes, gone. So definitely doing another run of these. We had a ton of positive feedback on lots of different YouTube reviews, because a couple of the Lone Stars got around, and everybody loved them.
Steven's hopefully getting his back today.
Like really loved them, and I did too. I really liked them. I thought they were really fun to make, and they were easy to grind. I like the hollow grind on a semi-straight edge. It's really fun to grind, and they were really nice looking knives. And they also have the same handle as the Revelation, so that's like a buddy knife to the Revelation. I don't intend to do any deleting of the Lone Star, but I will do more models, or more runs of the Lone Star. Here's a pattern for Tim's School of Fish. This is Tim's design. This is a swayback. It's called the Bonefish. You'll probably see some from Tim this year, maybe. In fact, I haven't talked with him about it. He's just had a lot going on, so That's not really been in the playbook, but I don't know. I haven't run it by him and see what he has to say about Blackwater Knife Co. The splicer won't ever go anywhere. Just it's a purpose-built knife, and I intend to. I actually intend to
Market that more.
like really push the splicers. I want to figure out a way to make this knife a lot lighter and a lot more cost-effective, and get a whole bunch of splicers out there into the market. There already is a whole bunch out there, and I bet all of them look the same. In fact, I'd be willing to bet the adventure off my hip that all of them look the same, and that look is absolutely beat to death, but still functioning.
I've gotten quite a
unlike
few
me.
videos from customers using them. They love them.
And here's another one of Tim's. This is the Snook. This was a great design. Scab has one of these. Somebody's asking earlier if Scab has a knife. I know for a fact that Scab has the very first Snook that was ever put out.
Yeah, Steven wants a Snook.
Pocket Docs are obviously going nowhere because we've got 16 brand new ones sitting on the bench over there. In fact, they've been, I've had people beating down the doors for Pocket Docs as well. I have a whole bunch of these. This was test cut in thin steel from the laser.
Did you make your list, Steven? Take notes.
What else? The walkabout, I think it was Zach that was wanting the rundown of the walkabout is not going anywhere. It should be a whole lot easier for me to do with the laser, but that's all going to be contingent on me finding the right shielding gas and getting a clean enough cut in 3/16 steel. It's not going to be a problem. I just got to find that recipe, and then I'll do more walkabouts. Other than that, they're paying in the absolute ass to cut out and do by hand. I just don't enjoy drilling them because I do put a good bit of weight reduction in here to make them a little bit more blade heavy. And yeah, I've not been enjoying making these or any of the big knives really from the get-go by hand blanking. I don't enjoy anything hand blanking. It's just now gotten to a point where I can complain about it now. This is the Lineman XL. I have no plans to delete this, but I do have plans to reshape the end of the handle. Just like the Lineman, I want a bigger lanyard loop down there, not like anything existing. Again, what else is there? The only other two that I have on the bench here, I'm looking, I think that's all.
He said all the big knife folks are rejoicing. Haha, Gabe is somewhere smiling.
So, I'll get to the Eagle in just a second. The Huntsman is shelved, and for the main reason of it was a good and fun project, and it was a great knife. You can see right there that little line. I was planning on making a clip version, like a Bowie, and I have one at home.
That you swore you weren't gonna tell anybody at your show.
I have one at home, but we may do something like that in the future. The clip, not the Smatch It blade, but essentially the Huntsman got replaced with a better knife, and that was the Eagle. The Eagle does outperform the Huntsman in every single way, on a high level too. The Eagle just really is a special knife. With that being said, I have not been able to make them cheap enough to appeal to anyone, and I still think they're underpriced. I still have a handful of them left, and they've been kind of hard to move, mainly because of price, and I understand, so I'm not complaining. If we do more Eagles, I won't do a whole bunch of them. It'll just be a smaller batch, and I will make them extra special. That way the people that have them have something really special. If you have an Eagle, you already know this is a bad mofo. I mean, a really
Yeah.
seriously bad mofo. I own 3 of them. I ended up keeping the first one, and then I kept just 2.
Just two. I have
Just
one and you
two.
have one.
So the missus kept one.
Yeah.
I had to put one in her pack. they're insanely wicked, awesome knives. I love them. But with that being said, again, they don't move, so I don't. If I can't sell them, then there's no reason for me to make a whole bunch of them. This is both of those are Gabe's designs. The Huntsman, the Eagle, and the Hawk are Gabe's designs. And where that Hawk is. Here's the Hawk. So the Hawk is the smaller version. So my Hawk that I carry is a match. It matches my Eagle. I had to do that. It is very intentional. It's also ADCRV2, so it's 100% a match. They're both green. Anyway, the Hawk is the little brother to the Eagle. They are a great pair. But again, the Eagles have been kind of hard to move. And if you want an Eagle, you can still go get an Eagle because they are still in the store. So I don't really need to make any more right now, if I still have them.
Is that it?
I think that's everything. I think we've gone through all of them. With all that being said, now that we have gone through all the deletions, which is a handful of blades that I'm just not going to do runs of, I will say, don't worry about it because we're going to just keep coming out with new stuff. And
We've got more collaborations,
I
tons
do
of
have more
collaboration
collaborations.
requests.
I'm trying to work out a collaboration.
We're gonna have some dealer
A dealer
exclusive.
exclusive
Yeah.
model collaboration with
The Knife
I'm not
Connection.
the Knife Connection, and I'm not going to go into that any more than just it's on the table and we're working on it. And I'm hoping to do a few like that this year, dealer exclusive models or collaboration models that you can only get through the people that it is made for. So we'll see how that goes. And then Zach's got another new model that he drew up and sent to me a while back. I just have not been able to get around to it. I feel like every chance I get, I am doing something that should have been done like a month before. And eventually I'm going to get caught up and get back to level ground. I'm still trying to dig my way out. Anyway, I appreciate all you guys tuning in for today's live stream. And I love each and every one of you. And I'm telling you, my world will not go around without all of your support. And I appreciate all of it, no matter how big or small. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you on the next one. Have a good one.